Here I'm going to document how to do the brakes on a newer Mercedes e250. It's a diesel that's going to be similar to other vehicles, I'm sure. We're going to come to the back here and we just need some basic tools. This one does not have an electronic parking brake. So first we're just going to remove the wheels. But first I want to show you something very peculiar about this vehicle. About less than 5,000 miles ago, this got four brand new tires, but the two rear ones are racing slicks. The alignment looks fine by eye, but when you drive it, when you hit bumps, you can feel the rear get squirrely behind you. So let's take a look at this other rear tire. I just got done doing the brakes on this side, and this is the same situation. We've got about 5,000 miles on these rear tires. Now, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Let's take a look at these front tires. And this is what the rears should look like, but the alignment in the rear, I'm assuming, is towed out. The steering wheel is straight and the vehicle drives straight, but it's an anomaly. So maybe I'll update that after that's fixed, but I'm almost positive that's an alignment situation. So first we got our 17 millimeter, and we're gonna take the wheel off with an impact. I've got this socket that has the plastic on it so it doesn't mar up. Now we've got this spring clip here, and I don't really have the right tool. I'll have to edit that out. These tabs are stuck inside here. We're gonna have to push it out like this. So I had to get in here like this and actually physically push it out because these tabs were hanging up. So now we've got these little caps on the back side of the caliper. We've also got this T30 right here. We need to get this loose. And for that, I just got an impact with the T30 in there, and that should zip that right out. We're gonna make sure to put that in a safe space. And then we're gonna go ahead and take these 7 millimeter Allens out. They're caliper slide pins back here. So you just take these all the way out, top and bottom. When it comes all the way loose, I like to push the wrench forward like this and then just kind of wiggle it. And then you see down here at the, maybe it's hard to, right here, that bolt, you can see it pulling back and out. All right, you do the same thing for the bottom right here. There's another caliper slide pin right below that brake line. So you toss the ratchet in there. It's a little bit less clearance. And it's starting to get real sloppy because I'm trying to give the camera some view on this. After you've got both slide pins out, the other side has a wear sensor right here, and you can just simply take a pair of pliers and carefully pull that wear sensor out, or you'll need to replace it. So you'll need to pay attention to that before you do this job if you don't want to have a brake light on your dash. And then we're just gonna pull this caliper off right here and just lay that to the side. These brake hoses are strong enough to hold the calipers in the air, but this caliper is just a tiny little baby that weighs like 1.5 pounds anyway. So now there's the caliper bridge bolts, and there's some rust built up on here, so it would be a good idea to take a wire brush and clean these bridges up when you remove them. We're going to take an 18 millimeter socket back here and put it right there on those two big bolts, and then we're going to bust those loose. So just back here, this right here is low clearance from that sway bar link, and then sometimes I just use my palm like this, and nice hammer palm. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom right here. Give it a nice little mechanic karate chop. All right, you get the idea, take those out. Now this caliper bridge just slides right out. 2 bolts hold it in from the back side. Those are big heavy duty bolts and you need to torque those properly whenever you go back together with it. Now whenever you take the rotor off, usually most people just grab the hammer, give it a nice little whack. Now this one has a parking brake, so you need to make sure that the parking brake is not on, because the parking brake shoes are right here, and if the parking brake's on, you're not going to have a very good time getting that rotor off. So next step is to clean this off if you want, and then toss the new rotor on. And if you'll notice, even though these brakes weren't close enough to needing replaced immediately, I have to zoom in here to show you the brake pad material is coming off the backing plate. And what can happen sometimes is it'll completely delaminate off the backing plate, and then all you have is the metal, and then the metal of the pad. And then what happens is the brake piston, the piston in this caliper will extend fully because the meat of the pad came off, and now it's missing, and then you'll have your brake fluid gush out, and no brakes. It's a bad time. I've seen it before. So now when you hang your rotor, first off, this is a performance rotor, and it had a sticker on here that I just peeled off, and the sticker told me which side this went on, and I got it on the correct side, even if you don't think I did. Now we have our, what would you call that, centering bolt, hold down screw, anchor screw, bolt, you tell me. And then I don't know about that. I think tell me if what he just said is true or not. And now I'm going to put this caliper bridge back on. Like I said, it's a good idea to lay it like this and then hit it with the wire brush on that side and then on that side. Now we're going to save time by thumbing these screws in as much as we can, and then we're going to grab our ratchet and then go back together with it. Like I said, there's a little bit short clearance on this side with that stabilizer link, that sway bar link in my way. These get really tight, these caliper bridge bolts on the rear and the front, but the caliper slide pin bolts do not get super tight. They're a lot smaller. And I'm gonna, before I crank down on that one, I'm gonna get this one all the way tight. And they get cranked down and we'll move to the next step, the caliper, pushing the piston in. Now this is when I like to get out my pair of Knepex pliers, and this is how we push the pistons in. Instead of C-clamps like your grandpappy taught you, we're going to take our pair of quality pliers, and some of these pistons you need to be careful because they're not metal, they're like some kind of weird material. Tell me what kind of material that is, I don't even know. But you're going to just slowly push it all the way in until it stops. That's all the way in. We're going to make sure our slide pins are all the way. It's a good idea to pull these slide pins out, put some grease on them, and put them back in. Make sure that your brake cable isn't twisted, your brake hose, and then we're going to slap our new pads in. This pad right here slides in like such. We're going to snake this pad in and push our pins back one last time, and then we're going to push our pins in and tighten them back down. And you understand how this goes. We're just going to take the ratchet and screw them back in. So before you tighten this one all the way in, you're going to go to the bottom one and get it started. And then you're going to go back to the top and torque it, and then go back to the bottom and torque it. All right, that's good. Now we've got our spring clip, and We're going to, the tabs go on this outside. I'm just gonna rotate this one in here, right here, and then I'm gonna pull this one over to the side as I push that one in. And then I like to give it the nice smack test. I smack it all around, up, down, give it some more mechanic karate chops, and it's good to go. Now we put the wheel on.